and gentlemen,
Let's go.
Lifestyle, wellness, and a damn good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Hit it.
You're listening to the Holistic Life Podcast, presented by Say What Radio.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Holistic Podcast and our special Coping Through COVID interview series.
What up?
That was Jenny, of course.
Our last podcast, he said I didn't talk much, so I figured I'd get a little.
Well, hopefully you'll get more into this one.
Perfect. Welcome, guys.
So on this week's episode, we have the cool thing about social media is you meet a lot of people who turn into awesome friends. And this guy has turned into an awesome friend, even though we don't call and talk a lot. It's one of those people where you see and you're like, yo, that's my guy. So
this guy meeting the guest on our show.
yeah, give me
Surprise.
give me a let me just finish introing. So we have Eddie Miller from the brand new Region 3 Fitness out of San Antonio, Texas, on with us today. What's going on, Eddie?
What is up, Jay? What's up, Jenny? How are you guys doing?
Holla. We good.
Holla.
So as everybody's been affected, Ed, like this COVID-19 thing is crazy. How has it affected you and your situation? Well, first, before we get into that, give us a little background. Who is Eddie?
Before we start with that, let me say I do call you. You just never answer the phone, Jay. So I've been calling and calling. No, I'm playing. No.
I was like,
hey, we
that?
interact on social media quite a bit. So I definitely would consider you a good friend. And we used to work for a mutual company back in the day. So as far as introducing myself, my fitness background, I wouldn't say I have a formal fitness background. I really got into working out in high school, 11th grade. I was kind of on the chubby side and I had some really good athletic friends that would always hit the gym. And they convinced me my junior year of high school to start working out with them. And being one of those kids really insecure, it was one of those things where I really attracted to fitness and it was something that gave me confidence. So that was kind of like how I got into fitness. And so we fast forward, I was actually a 20-year career banker, believe it or not. And so,
wow.
What?
Yeah, I was in the banking industry for a long time. Yeah. And so fitness was my side passion. It was something that I did every day. It was something that I really enjoyed doing. I didn't honestly, at that time, I didn't think I could make a career out of it, only because I had been in the banking industry for so long. So that's all I knew. So on a whim, in 2014, I took a step out. I got certified to become a personal trainer. And then after that, things started rolling. I was sick of the corporate world and I really just jumped. Yeah, yes. I just jumped head first, man. And I quit my 20-year corporate job. I was a branch manager for a very, very large financial institution in the world and jumped into fitness, not knowing if I was going to make it or not. And here we go. Fast forward now, I'm about to open my very first fitness facility.
Kudos.
That is awesome. And if you guys go to Eddie Miller on Facebook and just like scroll through his profile pictures, this guy's doing some like crazy stuff. My favorite one is the handstand on the beach and the one where you're kind of like hanging upside down underneath the bridge.
Oh, yeah. A little cat skin. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my two favorites.
Thanks, man.
So it's every day it's something new. Like, how has this affected you and your family?
So, I mean, just like the whole world, everything's on standstill right now. And it's scary because it's a lot of unknowns. I think people with the whole grocery shopping, toilet paper, food, like kind of craziness, they just don't know what to expect. And so I think a lot of that kind of got people stirred up and crazy. But in terms of how it's affected me, I try to stay positive through it all.
Right.
And, it's given me an opportunity. I had a little injury in the beginning of the year that kept me from running. I did my Ironman last year. And so I wasn't able to run as much. So it kind of set me down a little bit and let me kind of relax and heal my body. So I take that positive out of it. But in terms of going around running on these trails, you just see so many people now out and about doing fitness. You used to be a trainer. You're still very much into it. The thing is, people would always say that they didn't have the time. They didn't have the time. They didn't have the time. Well, now you have to stay home. Now you have the time.
Right. And it's like you want to have the time. It's like, I just don't want to sit here.
It's priority now. And so people are gravitating towards outdoor fitness or just fitness in general, home fitness. And I hope and I pray that people realize the importance of what fitness does for their lives and they continue this trend after we get past all this craziness.
That's a good segue into my next question, because I really want to know your opinion on this. Is like, I mean, because I believe now more than any other time is important for people to take care of their fitness, not only their physical fitness, but their mental fitness, their emotional fitness. Why do you think that's super important, like right now?
Well, I think now too, people are seeing that this can happen, and it didn't just happen in one part of the world. This is happening to the entire world. And so now people are trying to get health. They want to boost their immune system. They want to create a strong body, a strong mind, so they can withstand, if they do get the virus, if they can withstand it and get past it without dying, because nobody wants to die,
Yeah.
So I think now it's at the forefront of their mind. And that was one of the things too, as a trainer, I would always say, don't wait until it's too late to try to get into fitness. You can still do little bits here, little bits there. I tell my mom this all the time too. Now she's on this health kick, which I'm happy for, but don't wait until it's too late. Kind of do a little bit here, a little bit there. And so now people are thinking about it.
My favorite line from people was, I have to wait till I'm in shape before I get in shape.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Exactly. Yeah. And I always give this example to people. When you work out with me, I've trained professional athletes. I've trained someone that's never worked out together, and they'll work out right next to each other. And so it's all fitness levels that we train. And so it doesn't have to be, let me get into shape to get into shape. You got to start somewhere. We all started somewhere. So just pick it up and go with it. Do your own thing, kind of pick your own pace and just move.
I'm going to speak to that a little bit because I've always been an athlete, still an athlete, but being in my 30s, it has been a little bit different than being an athlete in my teens and my 20s. You've got life, you've got career. I was running up the corporate ladder, flying all over the country. And when you stop doing activity multiple times a day, we had 2-a-days, or we had lots of games and stuff. I tried doing Insanity and stuff out the gate, and that was great. But do I want to do that for the rest of my life? Not really. It's not really something that I'm interested in at this point, and I've come to finally be okay with, a little 20-minute, 30-minute little ping of exercise. And I'm like, whatever, I'll just lift these weights. This is dumb. And then I'm like sore the next day, and I'm like, oh, wow.
It was
Jay, you're right.
Long road getting there, Eddie. Long road getting there.
I'm a big proponent of that with nutrition as well, because with fitness and nutrition, it has to be sustainable for you.
Right.
And so if it's not something that you can see yourself doing forever,
right,
then find something that you can do. If it's yoga, do yoga. If it's not, lift weights. Not everybody wants to lift weights all the time.
Right.
So you've got to find what you can go and do and stick to.
I'm less of the one-on-one training and more of the mental hang-ups, because there's so many resources out there. So many resources. And if there are so many resources, why are people still not doing what they need to do to get healthy? So it's like the mental hangups, the things that are holding you back, the things you do when you don't feel you're not doing enough. It's like battling those things. Well, not battling, more like uncovering. And it's like, okay, you can be gentle with yourself. It's okay. It's all right. One burger isn't going to kill all your gains. It's all right. And if you don't like going to the gym, I feel that people have been conditioned to believe that in shape means I have to go to the gym for like an hour and a half. If that's not your thing, don't do it. Like you have to find that thing that's going to make you want to get up off the couch and be like, oh, well, it's time for me to go dance now, or it's time to walk the dog, or whatever's going to get you off your ass for like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Or plus.
Well, and it's got to be for sure based on what your goals are. I mean, if you're trying to do an Ironman, there's going to be different things you need to do to prep for the Ironman than what we're talking about getting off the couch and dancing.
Thank you for bringing that up, Jen. What works out for you and what you want to do is real specific. And I mean, Eddie, you did an Ironman last year, and the amount of training that you had to do. Tell us about that. Because you can't just be like, I've never worked out before and I'm doing an Ironman next year.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally like a part-time job. So I was doing my regular training for my clients and the members at the gym. And I was putting in an extra 2-3 hours a day, training, swimming, running, biking. Even you have to train how to eat on the bike, your nutrition on the bike, your nutrition while you're running. All these things you have to factor in and practice. And so it was technically like a part-time job. So it was tough.
You were already working out. So, I mean, you're going from someone who's fit now into that whole next level. Would you do it again?
I would. I did Ironman half. Okay, so that was the half distance. So if I do another one, I'll probably do another half just to PR my time. And then I would end up probably doing a full.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I want to do another half before I do a full.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the full is a beast. That's a beast.
Yeah, that's so cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
The fact that we're talking about all this, I mean, what I love about life, and sometimes I feel like we get stuck thinking that oh, this is how it has to be from now until forever. We're going to evolve and change.
Oh, yeah,
Our
definitely.
interests will evolve and change. Sometimes we'll be training for certain things, and sometimes we won't.
Right.
Sometimes we'll be super active. Other times we won't. So what do you think, Eddie? What do you believe when you're working with people as they're evolving and going through those changes in life, how they can best adapt, especially now, right? Now's a huge change. A lot of things are changing for people. We can all sit here and say, oh, yeah, you have all this time, get out and work out. But what would you recommend as people are going through these phases, especially now?
Well, especially now with fitness, I said you see a lot of people out, they're active. I think that kind of has to do with a couple things. One, people, again, they want to keep their bodies healthy so they don't get sick and they don't have to go through this really, really rough time if they do get sick. But I think there's a second part to that. A lot of people work out for mental health reasons. There's a lot of people out there that are depressed. They have high anxiety. They have to work out to relieve that stress so they can have a normal life. And so if you're cooped up all day long and you do nothing, that's going to destroy your mind. And so I think that's also why you see a lot of people getting out, because you will go stir crazy. If you sit in the house all day long and you don't do anything but watch TV or talk, to the wall, you're going to destroy yourself mentally. And so what I would say is that you got to find out why you do it. And then from there, you got to break down what your small goals are. If the why is longevity, you want to live longer, you want to move better, then you base your training on that. Obviously, there's some shorter term goals. Like for me, Ironman, so I would have to specifically gear my training towards swimming, biking, and running. But for someone that, let's just say my mom, my mom just is now getting into fitness. She's 63. So I would tell her, hey, Mom, you probably want to just move, walk around the block, get on the floor, work on getting up from the floor, just getting up and standing up. Nothing crazy. You don't have to lift weights, do all these jumps. Just move, be functional, and just get your heart rate going.
Start training those muscles in that body to do those things. And it's simple. It's such a simple concept. But I feel like we as individuals have a hard time wrapping our heads around that, because it's like, oh, but I have to do this. Or going back to what you said, attaching that why to it. I feel a lot of people attach superficial whys to that. Like, I need to lose 30 pounds. Okay. So after you lose the 30 pounds, then what? Because it's like, I lost the 30 pounds. All right, I did that.
Now I can go back to what I was doing before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that starts the yo-yo and the roller coaster. I told this story a couple of weeks ago. When we moved here, I didn't realize it, but I was like depressed. I basically uprooted out of Texas, moved somewhere brand new, didn't really know anybody. I gained like 40 pounds. And so when I realized it, I looked at a picture. I was like, holy shit, who is that dude? Right? So it was like, oh, I need to lose this weight. I need to lose this weight. But whatever I did, the working out, the cleaning up, the diet, nothing worked. And then it was a point where I stopped and I was like, you've never gone into a gym or a workout with this mindset of losing weight. My mindset was like, whatever this workout is, I'm going in, I'm killing it. And so when I got back to that, that's when the transformation started happening. So it's got to be deeper than losing weight or wanting to look a certain way.
Yeah, it's got to be an action-based goal opposed to a results-based goal, because we can't guarantee that that result is going to happen. Maybe I'm not going to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds. So does that mean that I'm a failure? But maybe you ate, your goal should have been, let me eat good for 5 days out of the week. If you did that and you hit that, then yeah, you're probably going to be on track to hit your weight loss goal. But I always tell people, don't put your goals based on results, put it on actions.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about food. Look at all the people on social media just joking, right? Like all the memes, like, beginning of quarantine, end of quarantine with the gained weight, or the eating of the extra snacks and the chocolate and all of that. I mean, some of that has to be stress related, but we're talking about focusing on the behaviors and how can you change the actions. What would be a couple tips you would have right now for people who are turning to the, as we call them, snacks?
The snacks.
Snacks. Stop snacking. Okay, put the snacks away. Put them somewhere you can't reach them.
You guys, I'm telling you, Eddie's pretty, we got him on video right here. You guys can't see him, but I'm scared. Just imagine Eddie saying that and be like, okay, back away.
No, I'm a sweet guy. No, I think first things first is you have to, and this is the perfect time. If you have never meal prepped or you're not good at it, now is the perfect time to practice it. And outside of trying to get your macros 100% on point, maybe work on just controlling calories, because calories are king. And so right now, maybe it's critical that you just maybe learn how to count calories And then from there, you can get more specific with your proteins, your fats, your carbs. But I think the biggest thing is you have to have self-discipline to not just eat because the food is there and you're just sitting around. I know that takes a lot, but you have to, because if not, you're right. You're just going to be grabbing snacks just to grab. You get up in the fridge and you walk past a little bag of chips. You're like, hey, it's there. Let me grab it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first step is don't bring it home. If you know you're going to snack, don't bring it home.
Or find some good snacks.
Yeah, find some good. Well, those are just snacks. Those aren't snacks.
Oh, those are snacks.
Good stuff is snacks.
But like I was saying, with fitness, I mean, the nutrition has to be sustainable also.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried, man, you knew me from back in the day, Jay.
Yeah.
I lost 20 pounds in end of 2017. I did that strictly with keto. Then I was like, I want to try something different. So then I went to a low carb diet. And then I switched from that. I tried intermittent fasting. So I've done a lot. And so what I've found that works for me personally is a lower carb diet and intermittent fasting. And that's helped me keep those 20 pounds off. So in 3 years, I haven't gained more than, I'm probably within 4 pounds of my original weight loss weight.
But you did that by experimenting.
Right, exactly. I had to learn my body because we are all different.
Right.
Some people might not be receptive to keto. Some people might not be receptive to low carb. So it all depends on what works for you. And that's what I always try to teach people as well, is like, hey, just because your friend down the street lost 40 pounds doing this diet doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You've got to really experiment with your body and find out what's going to work for you, what's sustainable for your lifestyle.
We're big on sustainability over here. Super big on sustainability. All right. I want to talk about Region 3 fitness. Like, this has been a big thing. It's kind of been pushed back a little bit because of the current situation.
Right.
But this is huge for you, man. Huge.
It's very, very huge. Oh, man, it's just a weird story as far as how it all came together. I have 2 business partners, and we all came to the agreement that there were 3 focuses in fitness that we felt were key to sustaining a healthy lifestyle. And that was true strength training, mobility work, and running. Okay, and so our gym, Region 3, that is basically 3 divisions of the gym. And we call the different rooms different regions. So we have our running region, our mobility region, our strength region. And these are literally separate rooms. So one room is strictly devoted to strength and conditioning. One room is strictly devoted to running, but it's a different style of running. It's not just straight treadmill running. It's what we call hit and run. So you might be doing some running on the treadmill. You might get off the treadmill and do some hit training with either dumbbells, kettlebells, or body weight. And then our final room in the back, it's a mobility room. So we'll be doing classes in there called Move and Groove, helping you learn about mobility, how to properly stretch, what stretches are going to help you run better, lift better, and just move better. And then we'll have some yoga classes as well.
That's awesome. You said running. I was like, I don't know. But then you kind of explained. I was like, okay,
it's fun. When you pair the running with the hit, it's actually pretty fun because you don't get bored. Sometimes when you're just running on the treadmill, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But we do have some classes for, there are some runners out there that want to do. We have a class called Need for Speed. So it's strictly a speed class. So for people that want to get faster. And then we have a distance class. So someone that wants to run distance, let's see how far you can run in 45 minutes. So yeah, there's different styles of running classes, and the treadmills that we're going to have in that room are called Techno Gym Skill Run treadmills. They're slatted treadmills, so they're a little different than the single belt treadmills. They're a little more comfortable to run on. They're not the curved treadmills, even though Techno Gym offers those, but these are the slatted treadmills. They're really nice, and they have some really cool features. So it's going to be a really awesome addition to the gym. I think that's going to be probably one of my favorite rooms because I do like to run and I do like to lift as well. So
I definitely have to come by and see you next time we're in Texas and San Antonio.
You guys are always welcome.
One more thing, talking about, because it was supposed to open next month.
Yes.
And before we actually recorded, you were telling us how you guys basically put yourself in a position where you're not really hurting like other small businesses are.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we didn't put ourselves in that position. It just happened to work that way. So the powers that be kind of blessed us with the right timing. Unfortunately, there are some other places in town that are probably going to suffer because that's just the nature of it, man. It's just timing is everything. And I hope those other gyms can make it through this. But we're in a unique position now where we are still in the building phase. So the gym is still being built out. We had looked to open May 4th. And thank goodness construction's still going on. It's almost complete. So if we have to push back our start date, we might miss out on a couple months of revenue. But again, we don't have members currently, so we won't be losing revenue like some other gyms are going to be losing revenue. So in that sense, yeah, it was just the right timing for us.
And you're still doing workouts and stuff for people to stay active on social media.
Right. Yeah. I've got some free workouts on my social media pages, on my Eddie Miller Facebook page. Then we've got the Region 3 Fitness Facebook page, Region 3 Instagram page. And then my Instagram page is a little different. It's Eddie at Region 3 or Eddie Region 3, but it's spelled a little different. All the E's are 3s. I'm sure we can link that in the description here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll put that in the show notes.
I post out some different workouts. We've got some very simple, basic workouts that are effective, body weight workouts, kettlebell workouts. If you've got TRX or suspension trainers, we got some of those on there. And then I've got a style of training that I'm specialized in called raw functional training or RFT. And that's where you see me crawling around the ground like an animal.
Oh, at first I thought, "Ooh, that sounds cool," until you said the second part.
It is actually very fun, but super effective. I mean, you wouldn't think bear crawls, gorilla jumps, crab walks would make your entire body sore. Every single piece of your body is sore after those workouts.
Oh, I believe that. I didn't doubt that. I thought shiny new object. I was like, raw functional training, cool.
It is kind of raw.
No,
it is definitely.
I'm sure it's fun though.
No, it looks fun.
It is.
It looks fun. So anything else you want to plug, Ed?
No, that's just keep posted. As soon as we're able to open up, whenever the stay-at-home orders are lifted and the government allows us to go back to work and open the gyms, we were definitely open. I hope that everyone that's super active now stays that way, even if they have to find an hour out of their day to do that. We'll definitely be opening it up, and we want to see you guys out there and see you on the trails still and out on the fields and all that good stuff.
And I don't plug a lot of fitness guys, but Eddie is definitely, if I was going to let somebody train me, Eddie would be one of those people. So
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
So
and that says a lot because Jay's picky.
Yeah, he is. Hey, trust me. When we worked for the company together, I remember seeing him. He's a beast. He's a beast. So for someone that's a beast to allow me to train them, that's very special to me. So thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to put Eddie's information in the show notes. Be sure to check him out, all social media stuff. And if you're in San Antonio, please check out Eddie and the guys over at Region 3 Fitness. Eddie, thanks a lot for being on with us today.
Hey, holla back.
Holla.
You can subscribe to the Holistic Life Podcast from your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to check out 2jholla.com to stay in the know as an official 2JH Insider. Mahalo for tuning in. And until next time, that's our show.